Welcome to my channel. Have you ever wondered why some people always have good ideas? Why they can explain things clearly, solve problems fast, and ask smart questions? Maybe they are not born smarter. Maybe they just have one small habit that makes a big difference. What if I told you that this habit is something simple, something you can start today? That habit is reading. Yes, just reading. Reading is like food for your brain. It helps your thoughts grow strong and clear. When you read, you learn new words, new ideas, and new ways to think. Your mind becomes more active, and you begin to see the world in a new way. In this video, we will take a journey through the mind. We will see how reading shapes your thinking, one page at a time. You will learn how reading helps you remember better, speak better, understand others, and even solve problems more easily. Stay with me. I will show you, step by step, how readers become better thinkers. It's a simple path, and anyone can walk it. Even if you are just starting with English, you can do this. Let's begin this beautiful journey together. Chapter 1. How Reading Shapes the Mind. Hi, I'm Ariel. Today I want to share something simple but powerful. It's about how reading changes your brain. Yes, every time you read, even a short story or a small news article, your brain becomes stronger. Let's think about your brain like a muscle. If you go for a walk every day, your legs become stronger. If you lift something heavy, your arms get more power. In the same way, when you read, your brain gets more active. It becomes faster, sharper, and more focused. When you read, many parts of your brain work together. Your eyes see the words. Your memory remembers old ideas. Your mind connects one sentence to the next. Your feelings respond to the story. All of these things happen at the same time, and that is amazing. Reading is not just for learning words, it's for training your mind. It helps you slow down, think more clearly, and understand things deeply. In today's world, everything moves fast: phones, messages, videos. But reading is different. It's quiet. It makes you stop and think. Have you ever read a story that made you imagine something? Maybe you saw a picture in your mind. Maybe you felt something, happy, sad, or surprised. That is your brain working with the story. It is not just reading. It is living the idea. When you read often, your brain starts to think in a better way. You begin to ask better questions. You start to understand both small details and big ideas. You learn to follow one thought all the way to the end. These are signs of a strong thinker. Some people believe that thinking is just something we do. But really, good thinking is something we learn, like riding a bike or cooking a meal. Reading is one of the best ways to learn how to think well. Think about this. When you read, you meet many new ideas. Some are easy and some are hard. But every new idea is like a small exercise for your brain. You may not feel it at first, but little by little, your thinking gets better. Let me give you a small example. Imagine you read a short story about a girl who is trying to find her way home. At first, it seems simple. But as you read, you start to think, why is she lost? What is she learning? What will she do next? You begin to follow her thinking, and without knowing it, your own thinking is growing too. This is what I call the mental gym. When you go to the gym, you lift weights to grow your muscles. When you read, you lift ideas to grow your brain. And just like with exercise, you don't have to do it all at once. Even 10 minutes a day can make a big change over time. Reading also helps your brain stay young and active. Many studies show that people who read often can think clearly even when they are older. It keeps the mind fresh and full of energy. So, reading is not just for now. It is for your future too. You might think, but I am still learning English. I cannot read big books yet. That's okay. You do not need big books to start. You can read small texts, short stories, or easy articles. What matters is not the size of the book. It is the habit of reading. Start small and grow slowly. Each word you read is a step forward. Reading also teaches patience. When you read, you cannot jump to the end. You have to go one sentence at a time. This helps your brain learn to wait, to focus, and to understand things step by step. And when you finish reading something, you feel proud. That feeling is your brain saying, "Yes, I did it." Some people say they do not like to read. That's okay too. Maybe they just haven't found the right book yet. It's like food. Not everyone likes the same taste. Some people like sweet, some like spicy. Books are the same. Some people like stories, some like facts, some like jokes. The key is to keep trying until you find the kind of reading that feels right for you. Reading also teaches your brain to stay calm. When you read, the world becomes quiet. Your thoughts become clear. In that quiet space, your brain can breathe. And that is when the best thinking happens. So, reading is not only for fun or school, it is a tool, a very strong tool. It helps you think, remember, feel, and grow. Every time you read, your brain becomes better at doing all these things. And the best part? Anyone can do it. You do not need a special skill. You do not need a lot of money. All you need is a little time, a little curiosity, and something to read. Let's remember, your brain is your most powerful tool. Reading is how you keep it strong. Just like eating good food helps your body, reading good words helps your mind. If you are just starting your reading journey, take it slow. Read something small today, then something else tomorrow. Keep going, and soon you will see that reading becomes easier and your thinking becomes deeper. This is just the first step. In the next chapter, we will see how words help you think better. Because when you learn more words, you learn more ways to understand the world. Thank you for staying with me. Let's keep going. One page, one idea, one thought at a time. Chapter 2. Vocabulary builds thought. Hi again, it's Ariel. In this chapter, we will talk about words, small things with big power. We will see how every new word you learn helps your brain grow stronger and your thoughts become clearer. Words are not just for speaking. Words are tools. They help you shape your ideas and express what is inside your mind. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt something, but you could not explain it? Maybe you were feeling a mix of happy and nervous. Or maybe you had an idea, but you didn't know how to say it. That's because your thoughts need words. Without enough words, your ideas stay quiet inside you. They cannot come out. But when you learn more words, your thoughts get a voice. Reading helps you grow your vocabulary, the collection of words you know. Every time you read, your brain picks up new words. Some you may understand right away. Others may take more time. But each one is a new tool in your thinking toolbox. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone who only knows the word bad. If something goes wrong, they will say, "It's bad." But what if they learn more words? What if they know the word difficult, unfair, dangerous, or disappointing? Now they can say, "This situation is difficult," or "That test was unfair." These words are more exact. They help you understand the world in a better way. Each word you learn is like a new color on your paintbrush. If you only have one color, like black, your picture will be plain. But if you have many colors, red, yellow, blue, green, you can paint a full, bright picture. Your thoughts are the same. With more words, your mind becomes more colorful. You can show more feeling. You can say exactly what you mean. Let's think about feelings. If someone asks, "How are you?" and you only know the word good, you will always say, "I'm good." But what if you know the words calm, excited, nervous, or proud? Now you can give a better answer. You can say, "I feel calm today," or "I feel proud of my work." This is the power of vocabulary. It helps you speak your truth. It also helps you ask better questions. For example, if you want to understand something, you can ask, "Why did that happen?" But what if you know the word reason or cause? Now you can ask, "What was the reason behind that choice?" That sounds stronger and clearer. Your questions become more powerful when your words become stronger. When we read, we meet new words in a natural way. We see them in real sentences, with real meaning. That helps us remember them better. It's not just reading a word and its meaning, it's seeing the word in action. That's why reading is one of the best ways to grow your vocabulary. I want to share a small idea that can help. When you read and find a new word, stop for a moment. Ask yourself, what does this word mean? Try to guess from the sentence. Then look it up if you need to. After that, use the word in your own sentence. Say it out loud. Write it down. When you use a word, it becomes part of your thinking. Another fun idea is to keep a word notebook. Every day, write down 2 or 3 new words. Next to each word, write a simple meaning. Then write one short sentence with the word. This is a slow and simple way to grow your vocabulary and to grow your mind. Some people think vocabulary is only for tests or school, but that's not true. Vocabulary is for life. It helps you make better decisions. It helps you understand people. It helps you tell your story. Without words, your story stays inside you. With words, your story can be shared. Here's something beautiful. When you know more words, you can also think about more things. A child who only knows simple words thinks in a simple way. But as the child learns more words, like justice, freedom, or respect, their mind opens to new ideas. This is how words shape thought. Let me give you one more example. Think of the word home. For some people, it means a house. For others, it means safety, love, or peace. One small word can hold many big ideas. When you learn words like these, your thinking becomes richer. You can feel more. You can understand more. And the best part? You do not need to learn many words at once. Even learning one good word each day is enough. Slowly, your word bank will grow, and each word will make your thinking a little brighter. So today, try this. Pick one new word from something you read. Learn it. Use it. Make it yours. Tomorrow, do the same. These small steps will change your English and your thinking forever. Thank you for being with me in this chapter. You are already building a better way to think, one word at a time. In the next chapter, we will talk about focus and how reading helps you train your brain to stay still and follow one idea without getting lost. It's a skill every good thinker needs. Let's keep going, word by word, thought by thought. Chapter 3. Reading Teaches Focus. Hi, I'm Ariel. Today, let's talk about something that is very important for thinking. Focus. Focus means keeping your mind on one thing at a time. In our world today, it is hard to focus. There are so many sounds, screens, messages, and videos. Many people are always scrolling, jumping from one thing to the next, and then the next. This makes it hard for the brain to think deeply. But reading is different. Reading is like a quiet friend that says, "Sit down, slow down. Let's stay with this one idea for a little while." And when you do that, when you stay with one idea, your brain starts to grow stronger. This is how focus is built. When you read a story or a short article, your brain is doing something very special. It is not jumping around. It is following a path, one sentence at a time. This trains your brain to stay still. And the more your brain learns to stay still, the better you become at thinking clearly. Let's imagine your brain like a flashlight. If you move the flashlight too fast, you cannot see anything well. The light just moves everywhere. But if you hold the light in one place, you can see every small part clearly. Focus is the same. When your brain stays on one idea, you understand it better. Many people feel frustrated today because they cannot focus. They try to read or study, but after a few minutes, their mind runs away. This is normal. It happens to all of us, especially if we are used to fast content like social media or videos that change quickly. Our brains are not weak. They are just trained to move too fast. But here is the good news. You can retrain your brain, and reading is one of the best ways to do it. You do not need to read for a long time at first. Just 5 or 10 minutes is a great start. Pick something short, maybe a small story, a short news article, or even a poem. Sit down, take a deep breath, and read slowly. Try to enjoy the words. Follow the idea from the first sentence to the last. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back. That is the practice. That is the focus. Every time you do this, your brain gets better at it. just like lifting a small weight makes your muscles stronger. Reading a small text makes your focus stronger. Day by day, this builds your thinking power. Here's a small tip that helps. When you read, try to remove distractions. Put your phone away, turn off the TV, and find a quiet place if you can. Let this be your time to connect with your mind. Let reading be like a small rest for your brain. Some people feel bad when they lose focus. They think, maybe I am not smart, or maybe reading is too hard for me. But that's not true. Focus is a skill. Everyone can learn it, and everyone can improve it. You just need patience and small steps. Reading also teaches you to enjoy going slow. In life, we often want things fast, but some of the best things, like a good meal, a beautiful sunset, or a deep thought, need time. Reading gives you that time. It teaches your brain to enjoy the slow path. Think about how stories work. You cannot jump to the end. You must follow the journey, page by page. This builds a strong habit in your mind, the habit of staying with something until it is finished. That habit is focus, and that habit helps in every part of life, in learning, in working, in speaking, and in solving problems. Let me give you a small challenge. Today, try to read something for just 10 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. Pick something simple. When your mind starts to wander, and it will, gently say to yourself, "Come back." Then keep reading. Do this every day, and you will be surprised at how strong your focus becomes. If you want to make this habit even stronger, you can keep a small journal. After reading, write down 1 or 2 sentences about what you read. This helps you stay with the idea even longer. It helps your brain stay present. Some people ask, will this really help me become a better thinker? And the answer is yes. Good thinking needs quiet space. Good thinking needs time. Reading gives you both. It teaches you to slow down and follow ideas carefully. And that is how deep thinking begins. So if you feel like your mind is always jumping, do not worry. You are not alone. And you are not broken. You just need to practice. Reading is the perfect practice for a busy mind. With each page, you are training your brain to stay steady. You are teaching yourself to listen, not just to the words, but to your own thoughts. Thank you for reading with me today. In the next chapter, we will talk about how reading helps you understand others better. Because when you read stories about different people, your heart and your mind both grow. Let's keep reading. Let's keep growing, with calm focus, one word at a time. Chapter 4. Reading improves memory. Hi again, I'm Ariel. Today, we're going to talk about something very important. Your memory. Have you ever forgotten where you put your keys, or a friend's birthday, or a new word you learned yesterday? Don't worry. It happens to all of us. But did you know that reading can help you remember better? Not just words from books, but also facts, ideas, and things in your daily life. Yes, reading is one of the best ways to train your memory. Let's start with something simple. When you read a story, you follow a line of events. You meet characters. You learn what they want. You watch what they do. You feel what they feel. and your brain works quietly to remember all of that. Without even noticing it, you're training your memory. Think about it. When you read a book or even a short story, you often remember the hero. You remember where they went, what happened to them, and how the story ended. That is your memory at work, holding on to ideas and keeping them safe inside your mind. Reading is like a gentle workout for your brain. It helps both short-term memory, which remembers things for a little while, and long-term memory, which stores things for a long time. When you read a story, your short-term memory holds each part for a moment, like the name of a character or a small detail about the place. Then, if the idea is repeated or feels meaningful, your brain sends it to long-term memory. It's like saving a file on a computer. Once it's saved, you can find it again later. Let me tell you a small story to show you what I mean. There was once a young boy named Amir. He lived in a small village and dreamed of seeing the sea. Every day he read stories about ships and sailors and storms. He had never seen water bigger than a pond, but he believed the sea was waiting for him. One day, he found a book in the village library. It told the story of a sailor who got lost in a storm but found his way home by remembering the stars. Amir read that story many times. He remembered each detail, the wind, the sky, the stars. He even wrote the sailor's words in his notebook. "When you are lost, look up." Years later, Amir finally saw the sea. He became a sailor himself, and one night, during a storm, he got lost. But he remembered the words from the book. He looked up and saw the stars. He used them to guide his ship home. This story is simple, but it shows something powerful. What we read stays with us. Maybe not everything, but the most important parts, the feelings, the lessons, the truths, become part of our memory. They live in us, and one day, they may help us. Even if you read something today and forget most of it tomorrow, your brain still remembers a little. That little part grows stronger the more you read. The more stories you read, the more patterns your brain begins to notice. Beginnings, problems, solutions, endings. Over time, you will see how much your brain can hold. Reading also helps you remember new information in real life. Let's say you read an article about how plants grow. Then, the next time you walk past a garden, you remember what you read. You connect what you see to what you learned. This is the magic of memory. It pulls ideas from your reading and brings them into your everyday thinking. If you want to grow your memory, try this simple habit. After reading something, close the book or article and try to remember 3 things you just read. Say them out loud. You can even write them down. This small act helps your brain hold the memory longer. Another helpful idea is to tell someone what you read. When you share a story or an idea, you must remember it first. This practice is great for memory. It also helps you understand the reading better. You can also ask yourself small questions after reading. For example, who was in the story? What did they do? Why did they do it? What did I learn? These questions are like small keys. They unlock the doors in your memory and help you keep what matters most. Sometimes people say, I read a lot, but I forget everything. That's okay. Memory takes time. It is like planting a seed. You may not see it grow right away, but under the ground, the roots are forming. Then one day, when you need that idea, it blooms again, just like a mirror remembering the stars. Reading often helps you remember better in other parts of life, too. You start to remember names, dates, ideas, and even new words more easily. Your brain becomes more used to holding and connecting information. You become more alert, more aware. So, if you feel like your memory is not strong, do not worry. Just start small. Read a short story or a short paragraph every day. Then tell yourself, "What did I read?" Think about it before you sleep. Say it again in the morning. That simple habit will help you grow a better memory, step by step. You don't need to remember every word. You just need to read with care and interest. Your brain will take care of the rest. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your mind is already growing stronger, not just with vocabulary and focus, but now with memory too. In the next chapter, we will look at how reading makes you more kind and understanding. Yes, reading can even grow your heart. Let's keep going. Every story adds a piece to who you are, and your memory will carry it with you. Chapter 5. Reading and Clear. Speaking. Hi again, I'm Ariel. Today let's talk about something special. Your voice. Not just the sound of it, but how clearly and confidently you use it. Many English learners tell me, I understand words, but I don't know how to speak well. If you feel this way, you are not alone. And I have good news. Reading can help you become a better speaker. Yes, reading makes your speaking stronger. Let's begin with a simple truth. When you read often, you start to hear how good writing sounds. You hear how sentences are built. You hear how ideas flow calmly and clearly. And slowly, without even trying too hard, your brain starts to copy that same rhythm and style when you speak. It's like listening to music. If you hear the same song many times, soon you can sing along. Reading works the same way. The more you read, the more your voice learns what good language sounds like. One very helpful activity is reading aloud. This means saying the words out loud as you read them from a book or screen. You might feel shy at first, but it's okay. You do not need a big voice. You only need to practice. When you read aloud, your mouth, your ears, and your brain all work together. This is powerful. It helps you with pronunciation, how the words sound. It helps with sentence flow, how words are linked together. And it helps with confidence, because you are hearing your own voice speak English clearly. Let's try a little exercise together. Pick any short paragraph from a book or an article. Read it slowly. Do not rush. Focus on each word. Feel how your tongue moves. Hear how the sentence rises and falls like a wave. You can pause between sentences. Let the words land gently. Reading aloud is like listening to your own thoughts and giving them a voice. That's a beautiful feeling. It tells your brain, these ideas belong to me. The more you practice, the more comfortable your voice becomes. And when your voice is comfortable, your speaking becomes clear. Let me tell you a short story to show how this works. There was a young woman named Lila. She wanted to speak English better, but she felt nervous in front of people. Every time she spoke, her voice was soft, and her words came out too fast. One day, her teacher said, "Try reading aloud every night." Just 10 minutes. So she did. Lila read aloud from a book of short stories. At first, she felt strange, reading to herself in her small room. But she kept going. She read slowly. She listened to the sound of her voice. She laughed at the funny parts. She even cried at one story. After a few weeks, she noticed something amazing. Her voice was stronger. Her words were clearer. When she spoke with friends, they understood her better. She felt proud. Reading aloud had changed her speaking. You can try this too. And you don't need long books. Even reading one paragraph a day is helpful. You can choose children's stories, poems, or your favorite English article. The most important thing is to say the words with care. Reading also teaches you sentence structure, how to build your own sentences when you speak. You begin to feel how English works. You learn where to pause, where to add emotion, and how to express an idea clearly. You are not just copying. You are learning to shape your own words. Over time, this helps you speak in full sentences. Your thoughts become more organized. You start to say, "First, I want to share this. Then I will explain that. Finally, I will give an example." That is the power of reading. It teaches your brain to think clearly and your voice to speak clearly. Some learners worry about making mistakes when they speak. That is natural. But when you read aloud, you can practice without fear. You can repeat the sentence again and again until it feels right. You can take your time. You are not in a hurry. Reading also helps with vocabulary. When you see a new word and say it aloud, your brain remembers it better. You connect the meaning, the sound, and the feeling of the word all at once. That makes it easier to use the word later when you speak with someone. Try to make reading aloud part of your daily routine, maybe before bed or early in the morning. Find a quiet place. Use a calm voice. You can even record yourself and listen later. You might be surprised by how clear you sound. Reading gives your voice power. It helps you believe, "Yes, I can speak." And when you believe it, you do it. So if you want to become a better speaker, do not wait for the perfect time or the perfect grammar. Just pick up a book, open your mouth, and begin. Speak the words that others wrote. And slowly, your own words will grow stronger too. In the next chapter, we will explore how reading helps you understand other people's feelings and experiences, how it opens your heart as well as your mind. Let's keep going, one sentence at a time. Chapter 6. Reading Grows Empathy. Hi, I'm Ariel. Today, we are going to explore something very deep, your heart. Yes, your heart. Not just how it feels, but how it understands others. This chapter is not only about reading with your eyes or your voice, but about reading with your heart. Let's talk about how reading makes you more kind, more thoughtful, and more human. Reading grows something very special in us. It grows empathy. Empathy means understanding how someone else feels, Even if their life is different from yours, it means putting yourself in someone's shoes, feeling what they feel, seeing what they see. When we read about different people, places, and lives, we begin to understand them. And understanding is the first step to love, kindness, and peace. Let me tell you a story. There was a girl named May. She lived in a small town and didn't travel much. She had her home, her school, her family, and that was it. One day she read a story in class about a boy named Omar who lived in a refugee camp. His family had to leave their home because of war. He didn't have a bed. He didn't have books. Sometimes he didn't even have food. But he had hope. Omar dreamed of going to school, learning English, and helping others one day. When May read Omar's story, something changed inside her. She had never met anyone like Omar. But now, she felt close to him. She cried a little when he cried. She smiled when he found a teacher in the camp. And later, when she saw someone new at school who looked shy and different, she remembered Omar. She went over and said hello. That was the beginning of a new friendship. You see, May didn't just read about a boy. She felt his life. That is empathy. Books let us meet people we may never see in real life. We can read about a child growing up in a cold country far away. We can learn about a mother working hard to feed her children. We can feel the pain of someone who loses a loved one and the joy of someone who finds their purpose. Each story adds something to our hearts. This is why stories are powerful. They are not just words on a page. They are bridges that connect us to other people, other cultures, and other ways of thinking. When you read fiction, made-up stories, your brain does something amazing. It starts to imagine what it's like to be that character. Your brain actually practices emotions like sadness, joy, fear, or courage. Scientists call this emotional rehearsal. It's like your heart is learning how to feel more deeply and wisely. The more you read, the better you understand people. You listen better. You judge less. You become softer inside, but stronger in how you treat others. You begin to ask, what is this person feeling? Instead of only thinking, what do I want? You begin to say, maybe they are having a hard day, instead of, they are rude. That's what empathy does. It makes you pause and care. Even simple stories can change your heart. Let's say you read about a boy who has no friends. You start to feel his loneliness. Later, when you see someone sitting alone in real life, your heart remembers. You might sit with them or smile. That small act, it starts with a story. Reading also helps you understand cultures different from yours. Maybe you read about a family that eats different food, wears different clothes, or celebrates different holidays. At first it may seem strange, but the more you read, the more you realize. They love, they laugh, they cry, just like you. Their life may look different, but their heart is the same. And when you see someone like that in real life, your heart is ready to accept them. So, if you want to grow as a person, not just in your brain, but in your heart, read stories about people who are not like you. Read about the old and the young, the poor and the rich, the sick and the strong. Read about other languages, countries, and dreams. Each story will teach you something new. Try this small habit. Once a week, read one story or article about a person from a different place or background. Then close your eyes and ask, what did this person feel? What can I learn from them? This small act will shape your heart over time. Remember, reading doesn't just teach us grammar or words. It teaches us how to be better people. It helps us see others with kindness, speak with care, and live with wisdom. May never forgot Omar's story, and maybe someone will never forget your kindness one day, all because you read a story that touched your heart. So keep reading, not only to learn English, but to become more human. In the next chapter, we'll look at how reading also helps you write better, how reading gives you the tools to express your own thoughts clearly and beautifully. Let's keep going. Your heart is growing with every page. Chapter 7. Reading builds logical thinking. Hi again, I'm Ariel. Today, we talk about something very important, your thinking. Not just what you think, but how you think. When you read, your brain starts to grow in a smart way. You learn to see patterns, ask better questions, and solve problems. This is called logical thinking, and reading is one of the best ways to build it. Let's look at what this really means. Have you ever read a mystery story? Maybe there's a missing object, or something strange happens in the story. The main character starts looking for clues. Each chapter gives a little more information. Some clues are true, some are tricks. As the reader, you also try to guess what happened. You follow the path from the beginning, through the middle, to the end. This process, looking at clues, asking questions, and finding answers, is logic. When you read often, your brain learns to do this not only in books, but also in real life. You start asking better questions like, why did that person say that? What happens if I do this? What is the best choice here? Good readers are good thinkers. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you are reading a story about a boy who wants to win a race. In the beginning, he is slow and doesn't believe in himself. In the middle, he starts to train and practice. At the end, he wins the race. Now, your brain sees the structure. First a problem, then a journey, and finally a result. This helps you in your own life too. When you face a problem, you begin to think, this is the beginning. I need to take some steps, and if I stay with it, I will reach the end. Reading shows us that problems are like stories. They have a shape, and that shape helps us stay calm and think clearly. Reading also helps us compare ideas. Let's say you read two articles. One says drinking water in the morning is healthy. Another says too much water is not good. Now you must think, which idea makes more sense? What do the facts say? Should I drink more water or not? You are not just reading, you are thinking. And thinking is like solving a puzzle. Sometimes the puzzle is a real mystery in a book. Sometimes it's a decision in your own life. Should I take this job? Should I study this subject? The more you read, the more your brain gets used to making smart choices, step by step, not too fast. Reading also shows you the link between cause and effect. Let me explain. If someone forgets their umbrella and then it rains, what happens? They get wet. Simple, right? This is cause and effect. Reading teaches your brain to see these small steps, and in real life, you start thinking this way too. If I don't study, I may not pass the test. That's logic, and logic helps you avoid mistakes. Even in small stories, these lessons are hidden. For example, in a children's story, a hungry fox tries to trick a bird. The fox uses kind words, but really wants the bird's food. If you read closely, you learn to notice when someone is kind but not honest. That's reading. That's thinking. That's real-life training. Here's something fun you can try. Read a short story, then tell someone what happened, in order. First, what happened at the beginning, then in the middle, then at the end. This simple act builds your memory and your thinking. You begin to see how stories are built like small houses, with a base, a middle, and a top. You can also try asking small why questions after you read. Why did the character do that? Why did the story end this way? Why did I enjoy this book? Asking why is one of the most powerful habits of a strong thinker. It means your brain is awake and curious, and curiosity is the first step to wisdom. Over time, you will find yourself thinking more clearly, not just in English, but in your daily life. Reading trains your brain to stay focused, to notice details, to build ideas step by step. These are the same skills that help people solve problems, make plans, and understand the world. Reading makes logic feel simple and even fun. It's like a game. Each time you read a story, your brain plays a game of thinking. What happened? Why? What next? These little games build strong thinking muscles, just like a puzzle builds patience and skill. So the next time you open a book, remember, you are not only enjoying a story, you are building a smarter brain. You are learning to think with care, to see what others don't see, and to solve life's little puzzles with confidence. In the next chapter, we'll look at how reading helps you become a better writer, how stories you read can teach you to tell your own. Let's keep reading, and let's keep thinking. Chapter 8. Reading reduces stress and clears the mind. Hi, I'm Ariel. Today I want to talk with you about peace. Not the kind of peace in the world, but the kind of peace inside your mind. Life can be busy. Our phones keep ringing, messages keep coming, and our thoughts run in many directions. But reading is different. Reading is like a quiet room inside your mind. A place where you can rest, think clearly, and feel calm again. Let's explore how reading helps you relax and clears your thoughts. Imagine this. You are sitting under a tree. The wind is soft. The sunlight is warm, not too bright. In your hand, there's a book. No noise, no screen, just you, the tree, and the story. You turn the page slowly. Each word pulls you into a new world. You forget your worries for a moment. You feel lighter. This is the power of reading. Reading gives your mind a break from the loud world, and your brain needs that break. All day, we look at screens. We scroll, swipe, and switch from one thing to another. This makes our minds tired and full. But when we read, we slow down. Our heart slows down. Our breathing becomes soft. We feel safe, focused, and quiet inside. Many smart people, writers, teachers, scientists, take breaks from their phones and read instead. Why? Because they know that reading helps them stay calm and think better. It's not just about learning new facts. It's about finding balance. When your mind is calm, your thinking becomes clear. Reading is like cleaning a messy room in your brain. You take all those busy thoughts, what happened today, what will happen tomorrow, and you gently put them aside. A good book does not shout. It whispers. It says, "Come in. Sit down. Let's take a little journey together." And this journey can take you anywhere, to a peaceful forest, to a quiet village, to the stars above. And while your mind travels, your body relaxes. This is why reading before bed helps people sleep better. The soft rhythm of words is like a lullaby for your mind. You don't need to read for hours. Just 10 minutes with a good story can change your whole day. Maybe you read in the morning with your tea, or in the evening before bed, or in the afternoon when your mind feels too full. These small moments add peace to your life. Even reading the same book again can feel like meeting an old friend. The story is familiar, and that feeling makes your heart feel safe. This is why children love to hear the same bedtime story again and again. It calms them, and it can calm you too. You can choose what kind of peace you want. If you need comfort, read a warm, gentle story. If you feel bored, read something funny. If your heart feels heavy, read a story where someone faces a hard time and finds hope. Books have a kind of quiet magic. They do not fix your life, but they help you breathe better. When we feel stress, our mind becomes narrow. We can't see clearly. We make quick choices or feel confused. But when we feel calm, our mind becomes wide. We see things more clearly. We feel more patient. This is why reading is not a waste of time. It's a gift you give yourself. Try this small habit. Before you sleep, turn off your phone. Take a simple book, even just one page. Sit in silence and read. Let the words fill your thoughts and let your stress float away. You don't need to understand every word. Just enjoy the moment. Feel how your body becomes still and your breathing slows down. That is reading's quiet gift. Let reading be your gentle pause in a noisy world. So, if life feels heavy, if your mind feels full, or your heart feels tired, pick up a book. A book will not ask anything from you. It only offers peace, word by word. In the next chapter, we will talk about how reading makes you a better learner, how it trains your brain to enjoy learning more and more. But for now, take a deep breath. And remember, every quiet page you read is a small act of care for your mind and your heart. Chapter 9. What types of reading make the mind sharper? Welcome back. Today we'll talk about something very important. What to read if you want to make your mind sharper and your thinking clearer. Not all reading is the same. Sometimes we pick up a book just to relax or have fun. and that's wonderful. But if you want to train your mind, some kinds of reading can help more than others. The key is to find a balance between easy reading and deeper reading. Easy reading is like stretching before exercise. It warms up your brain. It's stories, articles, or light books that make you smile or think a little. These help keep your reading habit alive and your mind engaged every day. But deeper reading is like a real workout for your brain. This means books that challenge you just a little. Books that ask you to slow down, think carefully, and maybe even question what you read. These books build your thinking muscles stronger over time. So, what kinds of books help you grow? First, biographies, stories about real people's lives. They show us how others think, make decisions, and solve problems. When you read about someone's journey, you learn not only facts, but lessons about life and character. Next, classic stories. These are books that many people have read for a long time because they teach big ideas about human nature, courage, or kindness. Classics help you see the world in new ways. Simple science books are another great choice. They explain how the world works, from stars in the sky to how plants grow. These books help you connect ideas and understand cause and effect. As you read these kinds of books, try this. Read slowly. Don't rush. Take time to think about each paragraph. Ask yourself questions like, what is the author trying to say here? Or, how does this idea connect to what I already know? This turns reading into an active conversation with the book. It's okay if you don't understand everything the first time. The goal is to enjoy the challenge and let your mind grow bit by bit. Remember, reading deeply doesn't mean reading difficult words all the time. It means reading with care and curiosity. And sometimes, after deep reading, it's good to return to lighter books, to rest and refresh your mind. By choosing your reading carefully and slowing down, you give your brain the chance to think better, ask better questions, and remember more. So, next time you pick up a book, ask yourself, will this book help me think a little more today? If yes, you're on the right path. Keep reading, keep growing. Your mind will thank you. In the next chapter, we'll talk about how reading helps us in everyday life, making work, school, and conversations easier and more fun. Chapter 10. Becoming a lifelong reader and thinker. We've come to the final chapter, and it's a special one. Reading every day, even just for a few minutes, can change the way you think, not just now, but for your whole life. Remember what we've talked about, how reading helps your focus, strengthens your memory, builds your vocabulary, and grows your empathy. All these skills connect and grow together, like a garden that blossoms over time. When you read regularly, your mind becomes sharper, clearer, and more creative. You learn to see the world with new eyes and solve problems in new ways. Your mind is your greatest tool, and reading is the key to sharpening it. If you're just starting, that's perfect. Begin with small, easy books you enjoy. There's no rush. Every page you read is a step forward. Keep going, keep exploring, keep asking questions. Because the more you read, the more you become a lifelong thinker, ready to understand and shape the world around you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now, it's your turn. Pick up a book and start your own adventure today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you see why reading is more than just a school subject. It is a way to grow your thinking and build a better future for yourself. If you enjoyed this video and want more lessons about English and thinking skills, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Tell me what book you want to read next. I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep reading, keep learning, and keep thinking.